Going for it. Sketch. Just go. Oh, fuck. Holy shit. Ooh. Oh, fuck. That was fucking nuts. And dangerous. That was nuts and crazy. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. Had to take it, though. That was such a fucking crazy fucking dive, bro. Oh, nice move by Snowman. This guy's on slick tires, for sure. He's not making this. Pretty sure that's his deal. Tell you what though, I'm feeling all right in the light rain. Like if it's a light drizzle like this, I'm feeling pretty good. P8's definitely gaining, but we're all right. Still all right. Fine, I'll give you the bump, dude. Give you the bump draft. Oh, that better not be one for me. I didn't do it. 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 We both went off. I didn't do it. Someone's off. We're in our P5.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Gran Turismo race recap video, guys. Today we're looking at the final round of our Manufacturers Cup. We went Lexus this time, and real quick, we had a real kick-ass Manufacturers Cup. Definitely the best one we've had so far. We ended up as the number 3 Lexus in the Americas region, so super cool. And in this last race right here, starting from the back, we have 5 laps around the Nürburgring with some truly dynamic weather. Literally every single race could have been something completely different. I'm going to show you guys right here how we ended up starting this race in the back.
Oh, fuck, we fucked it up. We fucked the quali lap up.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, fuck, dude. It got wet.
It's called rain, you moron. Yeah, we really screwed it up. We did not think it was going to rain like this.
Let's get some grip here. We're going to need to pit for sure.
Watch us squirm a little bit here. Really screwed our quali lap.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
And yeah, we weren't expecting it because I swear I looked at the weather radar before we went out there. It was the tiniest little patch of rain, and it just happened to stay over the track, I guess, for so long. And yeah, we got caught out in the qualifying, and so everybody that started in like the top 5 didn't have to deal with any of that rain at all. But you're going to see later in the race, I don't think they knew that it was going to rain because of that, because they didn't experience it in the qualifying lap. I think it led people to make some poor pitting decisions later in the race. Like I said, it was the tiniest little blip on the weather radar. I think people really thought it was going to be some light rain. And we'll see later a couple people making some wrong decisions. If we're going to jump to the hood cam finally here, it took a little while for some action to kick off. But we got a nice little run on Damasio here. And I don't know what he was trying to do, like block me off there. I don't know. I wasn't really going to try to go for this move. But because he did that, I said, you know what, dude? We're going to get nuts here now. And surprisingly stuck the move. He left the space. We got another guy on the left over here. Is that slow roller? Yeah, we're trying to get past him too before we go into this green hell for the first time. I do not want this dude with dirty tires getting stuck in front of me. And here we are now, coming into that green hell for the first time. Again, everybody's still got some cold, hard tires on, so everyone's still sorting themselves out. We're going to see right here with Scarlord. For the longest time, I was calling this guy Scarl X. But for some reason today, it's very clear to me that his name's Scarlord. Going off track a little bit, getting those dirty tires. And the two in front of him also getting into a little scuffle. We got a little traffic jam starting to build up here before the straight. It's not an ideal spot for this to be happening. I'm having to lift. I'm kind of having to sort my car out a little bit. Again, behind Scarlord, I'm not really trying to make the move on him. I'm just trying to set myself up so that we don't get in an accident coming up on this little right-hander here. But Scarlord is actually going to go a little wide, and we're going to have to take that spot from him. We have to take that. And so already up a good 3 spots. We're not even like halfway done with the first lap yet. There's still no rain, so we're looking all right to start this race off. Looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. And now about a minute later into this lap, we're still putting some good pressure on P9 and 10 up here, and we're kind of entering into the more technical parts of the circuit. Well, I guess the whole entire circuit's pretty technical, but as we enter into some of the more difficult parts of the track, we got both these guys going into the dirt a little bit, us able to make the nice overtake, but we do hit both of these curbs in a really like awkward position. It really did unsettle the car. I thought we were going to lose it there, but luckily we're able to balance it out again. No big deal. Coming up to the end of our first lap, still putting some decent pressure on P9 here. We're going to have a decent shot at the straight if we could stay by him, and he's actually going to make a little mistake here. He's going to go off track a little bit, and guys, I don't know what my problem has been, especially with cars on the right side of me. You guys tell me if I'm the idiot. I felt like I left him plenty of space to get back on the track. Now, granted, it was like the perfect amount of space for his car, but I didn't feel like we needed to make contact there. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, you guys tell me, am I the idiot? Am I bumping into people? Am I not seeing them? Or are they trying to cut back in front of me so they don't lose the position? Sometimes it is a little hard to tell, but it's okay. We all survived the first lap, starting the second one here. And guys, take a look at the top right corner. Let's take a look at our rear view mirror as we were about to get a massive dive bomb from Damasio. I don't know if this was like retaliation for the first lap if he wasn't happy with that move, but definitely one of the more massive bombs I've seen in a while. Look at Snowman just utterly disgusted with that move. He's like, get the fuck out of the way, dude. That was not cool. Now, I don't know what's happening here. I don't know if these guys are fighting with each other. I don't know if something happened earlier in the lap. I don't know if this is just a sloppy start to the first lap, but it seems like Snowman's kind of brake checking a little bit. And you'll see Damasio gets way more aggressive too, a really aggressive driving from both of these guys. And after that massive dive bomb and then whatever just happened right there, I'm already like, I do not want to be behind these two. We're about to be entering into the green hell again. Damasio's going to borderline drive just right across the track here to make this pass, and relatively a clean overtake. Honestly, it wasn't too crazy, but a little aggressive. We're going to have a little bit of a deja vu moment here of our first lap too, and coming up on Snowman right before the chicane, I said, you know what, this worked the first time we did it. Is this going to work the second time? Unbelievable, it does. Yeah, got lucky there. That's not the best place to be doing that kind of stuff, but again, I did not want to be behind these guys going into the green hell. We're actually going to get a little lucky here. We're not going to have that much pressure from P11 behind us. It's going to scrape into the wall a little bit. We're not really going to have to deal with him for too much, but coming up to the end of the second lap now, take a look at this moisture meter in the bottom left. Actually, you guys don't even need to look at it. You can see the water kicking up from the tires at this point. It's getting wet. And now this is basically the point in the qualifying where we had our big mistake, and so I cranked my TC all the way up. Let's see, are we going to be able to make it this time? We are, no problem. Yeah, we're definitely not going to be making that mistake twice. It was so devastating in qualifying. It would have been even more devastating in the race, but we do make it into the pits. Looks like a couple guys stayed out, I think. But most everybody going in and out. Guys, we're about to make the stupidest mistake. I'm still not used to my new wheel and the radial dials on this Logitech, so I'm trying to turn my TC off here, and I just drive over the pit line just like a little bit, dude. Give me a fucking break. Like the tiniest little bit I drove over it, and we're gonna get a 3-second penalty for that. So yeah, coming out of the pits in P10, it's raining now. It's not terrible, but any progress that we make this lap is really gonna get hindered by this silly penalty, and we get lucky here as who is this? Elote goes off track. I'm pretty sure this dude is one that stayed out. It appears to me that he's got those racing hards on still. And again, I think that's a result of people not experiencing what happened during that qualifying lap. And like right here, you know, he's barely keeping it together, and we have so much more grip. It's pretty clear that, yeah, I think he's got those hards on. But look at that 3-second penalty just sitting on top of our car. Absolutely a disgusting sight. And we'll see later on in this lap, a couple other people are going to have problems. It seems, I think they are on the hards, and they're really trying to survive this wet lap. And one of the survivors in front of us now, Seb, at the beginning of this lap, he was in P3, but now he's in P7. He's got those racing hards on. Let's see what happens here. He's supposed to be making a right-hand turn, but unfortunately, he decides to go straight into the wall. He doesn't decide. His tires take him straight into the wall. And we're now approaching that point in the race. If you look at that moisture meter, approaching the point in the race where those racing hards are going to be no longer viable. And I was actually really surprised at how long these dudes were able to stay out on these racing hards. And equally surprised at how much I ripped up my inters. It really didn't make sense to me as to what was going on. I guess we just weren't in full inters territory yet. But when we came out of the pits, it was raining. I mean, the track wasn't completely soaked, but it was definitely raining, and it had been raining for a little while. So, I don't know what's going on there, but we are going to make a mistake in front of Neo coming up in a second. We're going to go off track again. I think it's because our inters are just a little shredded. Picking up those dirty tires, we're going to have to let Neo go, even though he is in another Lexus. He's actually technically our competition. So I should have just rammed him right off the track. No. But I'd be a complete asshole to try to cut back on the track in front of him with dirty tires and a 3-second penalty. So no big deal. Take it, my brother. Coming up on the carousel here. Are we both going to be able to make it? Seems like we're kind of taking it a little better than Neo there. If you miss that carousel, if you go too wide there, you do lose an incredible amount of time. As both of us are approaching at least one car. It looked like 2 cars up there. It looks like P5 and 6 up there. But one of them is definitely SMY, SME, whatever your name is. And we're going to see he is another one that decided to stay out. He's got his hazards on. He's really struggling here. He might not actually be driving the car. He might just be in the pause menu. Something that people do when the conditions get too crazy. If you go off track, if you go in the pause menu, the AI kind of takes over. It's relatively a little bit safer, I'd say. If you got the wrong tires on to maybe do something like that. But look at this in a P7 now. Guys, we started in, what, P14, 15? So up a bunch of spots, but unfortunately got this massive penalty that we're going to have to serve right here. Luckily enough, we had made enough room between us and Edgar that we're actually not going to have to really deal with him on the straight. We were racing pretty good in the wet, so he is pretty far back on us. We're going to see in a second. He's flying. He's definitely flying on us. And I could see him in my rear view mirror here too. He's making me really nervous. And again, we're coming up to this point in the track where we had that big moment during qualifying. And trying not to have a big moment again, but I just get so silly and squirrely on the brakes here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like lifting off of him, slamming on him again. That we do end up into the wall. Very reminiscent of our qualifying lap. And unfortunately, we're going to have to let Edgar go. But again, it wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't the biggest deal because, again, we had already made like 7-8 positions. I was starting to feel confident. I was feeling good in the rain. I felt like we were going to be able to catch up to Edgar pretty easily. And it wouldn't take that long for us to catch up to Edgar again. The only reason he was able to catch up to us in the first place is because we did have to serve that massive penalty. So, you know, we had already made our distance between this guy, and at this point, I'm really trying to get past him as quick as possible. Because he is also driving a little nuts too. I thought he was kind of leaving the space open for me to overtake a little bit, but obviously we're way too far back. Not a lot to do here other than give him the bump, and we are approaching kind of a sketchy corner. And Edgar is going to go off track, and I felt like the dirty air took me along with him a little bit. I know we don't get that much dirty air in these Group 3 cars, but the slipstream in these cup races has been absolutely insane. I just felt like it kind of took me along with him a little bit. Luckily, we didn't get a penalty. Game chalked it up as a racing incident, which I think is fair. I mean, obviously, we came out better for it. But in a P7 now, and actually now in a P6, we're picking this one up at the beginning of the final lap. We're in a P6 now as we overtook Brother Wilson while he was in the pits. I'm assuming that he was putting on a fresh set of intermediate tires, which we actually almost decided to do too. Look at our tire wear there. They're really starting to get shredded up. And poor Neo on the final lap also going to go off track, get a pretty hard reset there. And all of a sudden, we are in a P5. This is always where we want to be in these cup races on the final lap. Somehow, from P14, 15, wherever we started at, somehow we're here now. But unfortunately, we do have some pretty heavy pressure from Brother Wilson behind us. And look at this dry line does appear to be kind of starting to form a little bit. He's got fresh intermediate tires on. I mean, this is like peak time for him. There should be no excuse as to why he shouldn't be able to overtake us, but you guys know how it is on a difficult track in wet conditions. You really do have to drive perfect. Both of us need to drive perfect to survive this final lap, and unfortunately for Brother Wilson, he's just gonna like bite a little bit too much of the wet. I don't know what happened. His inters weren't there yet. I don't know, but poor dude is gonna go into the wall and have the biggest moment. And that will pretty much do it here today for us, guys. Yeah, an incredible race around the Nürburgring. Man, started in the P14, somehow ending up in that top 5. Really, really incredible. And I just want to say thanks to everybody that was there during the stream. Subi, Life of Shire, Neon, Aros. Thank you guys so much for always being so supportive. You guys really helped us get, like I said, that number 3 Lexus spot in the region. Like I said, dude, if that was the real World Series, that means there's only 2 people in front of us that were going to qualify for the live event. I know the actual World Series is going to be way, way more competition, but still, you know, all it takes is one person gets a bad case of diarrhea and somebody's got kids that they can't leave, you know, and then boom, that's us. We're there. But anyways, guys, just want to say thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this cup. We're really going to try to increase our ranking to an A+ over the next like week or 2 before the actual World Series starts. And when the World Series starts, I hope to see you guys all there. Let's really freaking go for it and do our best, and let's see what could happen. Yeah, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope you have some great races out there. Good luck in the GT World Series, guys. I will see you out there. Until next time, I love you all. Kiss, kiss. Stoosman out.